What if the real question isn't what's wrong with me, but who am I, really? Not the roles you play, not the expectations others press upon you, not the mask of competence you wear in the boardroom or in the family home, but you, the living, breathing presence beneath it all. So many believe identity is fixed, that you either know who you are or you don't. But identity is not a label. It is not a verdict. Identity is a living capacity. And like any capacity, it can be fragile, fractured, underdeveloped, or it can be cultivated, expanded, and strengthened. I'm a psychotherapist, clinical supervisor, executive coach, and award-winning researcher. I've worked with many senior leaders in executive and organisational coaching roles through many phases of their careers across multiple sectors. Over more than 20,000 hours of listening to clients, one truth has become clear. Identity struggles are not flaws. They are signals calling for growth. My name's Dr. Tony Weston, and I created the Lifelong Capacities Map as a way of showing exactly what those signals mean and how to answer them. Identity capacity rests on 4 vital skills. The first is 3.1, a clear, cohesive, evolving sense of self. The ability to know who you are and to allow that self to grow. The second is 3.2, growth mindset and identity flexibility, recognizing that identity is not rigid and that you can change and adapt. The third is 3.3, self-efficacy, the lived confidence that you can shape outcomes, not just wait for them. And the fourth is 3.4, healthy self-worth, a sense of dignity that is not borrowed from others' approval, but rooted in your own being. These 4 weave together to form the fabric of identity. When they are weak or under strain, identity frays. When all 4 strengthen, identity becomes the ground you can stand on with presence. Let me introduce Sophia. She was a chief financial officer, respected, diligent, precise. But several times in different businesses, when the chance arose to step into the CEO role, she was overlooked. Each time, she told herself a familiar story. I'm not what they're looking for. I don't belong at the very top. Outwardly, she was calm and capable. Inwardly, she carried the ache of the impostor. Her difficulty lived in 3.1, a fragile sense of self. She knew her role, but not her presence. She felt trapped by 3.2, a rigid identity. She saw herself as the numbers person, not the leader. Her 3.3 self-efficacy had been eroded. Success seemed like something bestowed by others, not enacted by her. And beneath it all, her 3.4 healthy self-worth was conditional, tethered to whether she was chosen. Together, we began by naming these, not as flaws, but as developmental signals. We reframed her imposter feelings as evidence of an identity ready to grow. Slowly, Sophia practiced standing in the room, not as CFO, not as a role, but as herself. She learned to inhabit her own presence. In time, she began to experience what it means to have a cohesive, evolving sense of self. 3.1. To embrace identity flexibility. 3.2. To trust in her own capacity to shape outcomes. 3.3. Self-efficacy. And to root her worth in dignity rather than external recognition. 3.4. Healthy self-worth. Sophia did not become someone else. she became herself, more fully, more steadily, more freely. And here's the truth. Sophia's story is not unusual. Many high-functioning professionals live in identity fragility. They succeed outwardly, yet secretly feel like children waiting for permission to exist. Identity work is not about inflating the ego or chasing quick fixes. It's about cultivating presence, the presence of standing in yourself, no longer begging to be chosen, no longer performing a role, but living from the unshakable ground of who you are. If you recognise yourself in Sophia's journey and you're ready to step into your own presence, I'd be honoured to work with you. You can schedule a session with me using the link below. Together we can map your capacities and begin the work of standing in the dignity of who you really are. You are not broken, you are becoming. Identity is not fixed and you are not finished. The signal of your struggle is the invitation to grow.